What separates me from the rest? Not just my story, but also the intentions that I have behind my story and using it to help other people just like you. In the past few years, I went from being a full-time personal trainer to traveling across Canada, doing door-to-door sales, working for Grant Cardone Canada in Toronto, to living out of my car.
Good morning from my car. Okay. Low key, living in my car.
Now I'm in my dream apartment, making over 6 figures a year, and I'm about to become a mom. Welcome to my story.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550.
I forgot to mention, at the start of my story, I was actually a pre-med student. I know, it's crazy. I was in university studying to become a vet and own my own clinic because my passion was business and to be able to help people, so I thought that this was definitely the path for me. However, thinking about it today, I cannot even handle a little kid and his wiggly tooth. The moment that I made the decision to drop out of med school and actually pursue my personal training career was the first time that I had gone against the grain. It was the first time that I decided I am going to follow my heart above what any society says, what my family members say. And instead, that is when I decided to dive into a passion that had been hiding behind the scenes for a long time, which was fitness. This is when I get into my personal training journey. I never would have known then, but it was the tipping point of me diving into personal development, fitness, nutrition, training, entrepreneurship, business, and every passion that I have and know to be today. Soon after we had everything shut down, I decided that I was going to start my own personal training business. I found success in this. I settled down. We got a home. We had 2 dogs, and I was actually close to getting married at this point in my life. There was just something that gave me the ick because when I looked around, everyone had the exact same house and similar cars. So again, my heart called out and I felt like it was time for an adventure. This is when I restarted everything. I left my hometown for the first time and traveled across Canada. I shut down my business, I rehomed my dogs, got rid of my home, and I decided that I needed to work on my interpersonal skills and improving my communication. I was a nervous wreck in front of people before, and I knew that it had to change if I wanted to see success in my dreams and goals.
Fucking day on a door knocking. Hate my life. I'm gonna crawl into the forest.
Yep, that's me. Hanging out in a ditch because sometimes you just need a break from the harshness of the world. I just want to take a minute here to point out the grit that I learned. Looking at a calendar, it took most people only a few days to get a sale when we were knocking doors, but for me, it took a whopping 3 weeks and over 400 doors. I would be lying if I said I didn't remember my first client's name. That guy was God sent. After living in low rentals for a bit, getting the shit scared out of me, I decided that it was time for an upgrade and I set my sights on Grant Cardone Canada. I applied more times than I even would like to admit to you, and with no luck, at the end of the season in the summer, I decided that I was gonna go back to my hometown. I had been at home for a while, and then out of the blue, I have a random number calling me. I pick up and I get the job. So then I was flown all the way back out to BC to the headquarters for my training. During my time there, I hit some amazing milestones. I got rid of all of my vices. I stopped drinking, stopped doing drugs, and I learned that the people that you hang out with and surround yourself with really do make a huge difference in your life. I had an amazing time traveling around downtown Toronto and living the lifestyle that I had wanted for such a long time. But in my heart of hearts, there was something calling me yet again, and I wanted to go home. I wanted to be a mom, and I wanted to be with the person that I was with at the time, settle down and start a family. When I decided to move back home, And what happened next, I never would have imagined. We ended up moving into a beautiful apartment. I was creating content on a regular basis, working part-time, and pursuing my dream. And then out of the blue, I'm homeless living out of the back of my car. My relationship did not go as planned. I did not get to attain the goal of being a mom and settling down with a family at this point in my life. And I was on the road again, doing door-to-door sales, living my absolute best life. Despite living in my car, I was still following my macros, hitting the gym every single day, and I was in amazing shape. This taught me that no matter what the circumstances are, the only thing stopping you from your goals is not the circumstances or the chapter of life that you're in. It is just your excuses. I thought that I didn't have enough money to be able to afford the food I needed to hit my macros, and I found out that that was untrue. Later, I thought that it just wasn't possible without a kitchen to be able to hit my macros, and I also found out that that was untrue. I had an amazing amount of time on my hands because you don't want to hang out in your car for too long, so my routine was absolutely on point. At this point, I was already making 6 figures. I was just keeping myself in sacrifice mode so that I would be able to build more. And I knew that my dream apartment was fast approaching. In this chapter of my life, I learned that when you set your sights on something that you really want, cut off all other options because anything else is simply a distraction. I lived out of my car until I was able to move into my dream apartment, and it was delayed, so it was really testing my faith because the construction went a little bit longer than they had thought. Over a month and a half after the day that I was supposed to move in, that I was actually able to step foot into this beautiful place.
This looked pretty. No. A bunch of trash all over the place, a mess, chaos. That's the part about manifesting things. This looks beautiful, and that's what everyone wants. What people don't realize is that there's work ahead. Oh my god. And the work is ugly. It's terrible. It's messy. It's dirty. Things are going wrong. There's chaos. If you just trust it, it will all work out.
Soon after I had gotten the keys and started buying furniture to get the place set up, I had my soulmate come into my life and we were living together. This is when my manifestations really started to pick up. A few months before, I had gone to California and I had seen exactly how much all of my habits were paying off because I felt like I was so confident to be able to take on this adventure together, and it was very, very fruitful. I had manifested everything that I wanted and more in such a short period of time, and it was all coming rushing into my life. With this came a lot of problems and a lot of stress. So I was able to then put into practice exactly what I preach all of the time, which is sticking to my program regardless of what chapter of life you're in. In a few short months, we decided that we were going to start trying to have a baby, and we were successful right off the bat. So now my heart has finally got its calling. I am on my mat leave and pouring all of the information and knowledge that I have learned over the past years of pushing myself to my absolute limit, overcoming crazy obstacles, and collecting all of the information from my experiences. During the whole adventure, my goal was always to help others, but I never exactly knew how to, because I felt like I was missing so many of the skills that I needed to be able to actually put that into practice. Now we have a comprehensive academy with a bunch of masterclasses inside where you can learn how to build your own program, how to have your own habits, daily rituals, and routines that will get you to any goal. Everything is fully customizable to you. You're gonna have your meal plans as well as your training plans. And my favorite part about all of this, I have gone through so much in the past 5 years of my life that I understand we need to have programs and systems that work no matter what chapter or circumstance that you're in your life at that point. So all of the information and knowledge that I'm offering to you guys are principle-based, tried and true. I have put them into practice and they have worked in my life for many, many years. On my channel, I pick multiple topics a week to go in depth on and give you the tips and tricks, break it down for you, and give you actionable steps that you can implement into your life to start making the changes that you need on your personal development journey. And in the Academy, we are growing a community of people that are like-minded, that support your dreams and goals, and will be the fuel that you need to ignite the fire within you and propel you towards your wildest dreams. I'm happy that you're here on my channel. I am so happy that you're part of the community, and I really do look forward to working with you and meeting you in the Academy.